African marriages, they say a woman marries not just her husband, but his entire family. For 8 years, Teni thought she was living a dream until her husband's mother and sister showed her their real agenda. They locked a special room in her house for themselves. They brought visitors without her knowledge. Her husband spent more time in the guest room than in theirs. Then one day, Teni discovered a secret that shook her soul. What happened next will leave you in tears, suspense, and laughter. This is a tale of love, betrayal, and courage every woman must hear. Will she fight back and save our marriage, or will they finally succeed? Watch this powerful African tale till the end. Welcome to African Tales by Ewa. Please relax while we go on this journey together. Teni was 27 years old when she met Chima, a tall, handsome businessman with a voice so calm, you would think God himself took time to polish it. They met at Idumota Market in Lagos, of all places. On a day, Teni had gone with her cousin to buy fabrics. Chima was standing in front of his mother's shop, giving instructions to his boys who were offloading goods. Teni laughed too loud at something her cousin said, and his eyes caught Teni. That day, he chased Teni with sweet words. Nne, you are too beautiful to be walking in the market without security. Allow me to be your bodyguard. Teni laughed and ignored him, but her cousin teased her all the way home. Days later, Chima's call came. They went for lunch. They had long nights of promises. He told her one day, with me, you will never lack. You will be the queen of my home. My mother will love you like her own daughter, and my sister will be your best friend. Sweet words, the type that melted even the stubborn heart. When the time came for Teni to meet his family, his elder sister, Ada, was the one who welcomed her. Ada was living in Nigeria then. She hugged Teni so tight you would think they had shared the same womb. My brother has made the best choice, she said, smiling. Mama, who lived abroad, was introduced to Teni on a video call. She couldn't stop praising Teni. Name, you're beautiful, oh. I can't wait to hold you in my arms. You will be my daughter, not just my son's wife. Teni's heart danced. She thought she had found a second mother, and on their wedding day, Chima whispered to Teni, no matter what, it is me and you forever, even if the world turns against us. Teni believed him. 8 years into their journey, Chima was 40. He had grown his importation business. Teni was just 35, a wife and a mother. They lived in a 5-bedroom house, yet Teni felt homeless inside it. Why? Because 2 of those rooms do not belong to her. One belonged to Mama, the other belonged to Ada, her sister-in-law. Whether they were in Nigeria or abroad, those rooms remained locked, sacred like shrines. When they visited, Chima practically became their roommate. He laughed with them, ate with them, sometimes even dozed off in their rooms. When Teni complained, he looked at her and said one day, "You don't understand. My family and I have come a long way. They can walk in and out of this house as they please." And truly, they walked in and out His sister had her own house in the city, yet she camped in theirs. His mother, whenever she was in town, brought relatives like it's a refugee camp. Nobody would tell Teni in advance before the visits. Teni would walk into her home after work and meet uncles, aunties, cousins, all eating and drinking in her home. The only saving grace, they were good to her children. Mama pampered them. Ada would buy them clothes. But is that enough to buy peace in a home? One day, Teni returned from work, tired. The house was full again. She greeted them and just went upstairs to rest. Her husband was drinking with his uncle downstairs. Later that evening, he sent the nanny to call Teni, but she said, "I am too weak." Today was tiring. The next morning, silence filled the air. Chima ignored her. The following day, he casually told her they were traveling to the village in 2 days, and Teni said, "Okay." That very night, Mama called Teni aside. Her eyes sharp like a hawk's, her voice calm but cutting. "If you continue behaving this way, you will not last in this marriage. My son deserves peace." Teni swallowed her anger. The morning they were leaving, Teni tried to talk to her husband. She reminded him their daughter's 5th birthday was the following Saturday. He looked at her, hissed, and said, "Is that why you called me? You sound foolish." They quarreled that morning, quietly but deeply. Then he left. He went to the village. No call to say he landed. No check-in. 1 day passed. 2. Then he started calling, but Teni ignored his call. Pride, pain, fear. She let the phone ring. The next time Chima called, the nanny was the one who answered the call on the house phone and spoke only to the children. Days turned into weeks. The children kept telling Teni, their mother, about their dad's call. One of them said, "Mommy, Daddy called us. He said he loves us." But for Teni, it was all silence. For over a week and 3 days, Teni was no longer his wife. She was just the woman keeping the house warm. It was her daughter, a little angel, who finally told her one day, "Mommy, Daddy is coming back tomorrow. Afternoon flight." Teni stood frozen. Her heart beat like a talking drum. 8 years of marriage, yet there she was wondering if her home still belonged to her or if it had been stolen by Mama and Ada, her sister-in-law. The next afternoon, the sound of his car horn pierced the compound. Teni's heart skipped. She stood by the window curtain, peeping like a stranger in her own house. He was truly back. Chima stepped out, tall and proud, like a man returning from war. He carried nothing but his small bag, yet his presence filled the air like thunder before rain. The children rushed out, "Daddy, Daddy," their voices sweet like morning birds. He lifted them, kissed them, laughed with them. Teni's heart broke and healed at the same time. But not once did his eyes meet hers. When he finally entered the house, Teni greeted him. "Welcome, my husband. How was your journey?" He nodded dryly. "Fine." That was all. He went straight upstairs. dropped his bag in Mama's locked room, not their bedroom. Something in Teni snapped. That evening, she tried again. Chima, can we talk? He looked at her, eyes hard. About what? About how you refuse to respect my family? About how you made this house hostile for my mother and my sister? About how you can't even welcome visitors without sulking? Tears burned Teni's eyes. Chima, this is not about your respect. This is about me, your wife, feeling like a stranger in our own home. How can a man leave his wife for over a week, call only the children, and act like she doesn't exist? He hissed and turned away. You don't understand. You never will. That night, he slept in Mama's room. The next day, whispers began to float around like harmattan dust. His cousin, who came back with him from the village, called Teni aside secretly. Nne, shine your eyes. Things are not the way they look. Teni frowned. What do you mean? He leaned closer. While you were here crying, they were holding meetings in the village. Mama wants him to marry another woman, a widow, the daughter of her closest friend. They said she will help the family and support the business. Teni staggered like someone hit by lightning. What? Another wife? His cousin nodded. Mama has been pushing it. His sister Adatu. They said you are not loyal enough, that you want to separate him from his blood. Teni's legs shook. She grabbed the wall for support. That night, Teni pretended not to know, but Chima, her husband, came back late, smelling of palm wine and pepper soup. He dropped his phone carelessly, and as fate would have it, a message flashed on the screen. Don't worry, my husband. Mama has accepted me. Soon, the whole family will. Teni's eyes widened. Husband? She said to herself, which husband? Was it not this same steamer lying beside me, snoring like a faulty generator? Teni almost laughed through her tears. See my life, from queen of the house to stranger, from stranger to co-wife. Now, Nafim remain, she said. The next morning, Mama arrived and called Teni into the sitting room. Ada was there, sitting like a queen beside her mother. The children were playing outside, innocent. Mama looked at Teni, her wrapper tied tight, her eyes like burning coal. My daughter, I won't lie to you. You have not given me peace since you married my son. You don't know how to welcome people. You don't respect your elders. You make my son choose between us and you. And that cannot happen. Blood is thicker than marriage. Ada added, smirking. You should even be grateful. Mama is considering another wife for my brother, so he can have peace. Maybe then you can relax and stop competing with us. Teni's ears burst. Her chest rose and fell. Another wife? She asked, her voice trembling. Mama leaned back calmly. Yes, she is a widow, hardworking, obedient. She will join you in this house. If you don't like it, you know the road to your father's house. Something inside Teni broke, but not in tears. With strength, she stood tall. Mama, with all due respect, I did not marry you. I married your son. I am not in this house to fight for space. But hear me, Mama. No woman will share my husband with me while I am still alive. If Chima agrees to this madness, let him say with his own mouth. As Teni turned to leave, Ada laughed. You will soon see. My brother is not foolish. He knows where his loyalty lies. That evening, while Mama and Ada were gloating, Chima came in with his cousin. His cousin couldn't hold it anymore. In front of everyone, he said, Chima, tell your wife the truth. Or should I say it? Tell her what Mama is planning with the widow in the village. Silence filled the air. Mama's eyes widened. Ada froze. Then Teni turned to Chima, her heart pounding. Is it true? She asked Chima. He looked at her, ashamed, covering his face like dust. He tried to speak, but Mama shouted, Don't answer her! She has no right. At that moment, Teni knew the battle was no longer between her and her husband. It was her against forces in his family. Now that the secret is out, will Chima choose his mother or his wife? Will another woman enter Teni's home? Or will Teni finally stand her ground as the rightful queen of her home? The story only just begun. Thank you for watching my story. This is African Tales by Ewa. If you wish to help me grow my channel, please subscribe. Share with your loved ones. Encourage them to subscribe to my channel. Like. Do not forget to comment. I need to hear your responses about this story. I appreciate your time spent on my channel. I do not take any of your support for granted. Until I come again your way with another interesting and educating story. Bye for now.